Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super discussion video. This is more so of an open question. Guys, do you think Dragon Ball Super is too childish? And look, I'm going to just start this off by saying I understand Dragon Ball has always been a show about kids and childish adventures. It's a show for children, and I shouldn't have expected anything else going into Dragon Ball Super when it was announced and they were reviving the show after so long. We should have been aware that it was going to be just a light-hearted romp, action comedy type of show that it's always been. But it's weird to me, isn't it? A little bit weird that it's so childish at points, and they don't even allow themselves to be as dark and brooding as they once were back in Dragon Ball Z. Now, I know a lot about that has a lot to do with the way Japanese television has kind of been censored over the last couple of years. They don't really allow themselves to be as dark or brooding as they once were. But it is just a little interesting to me that Dragon Ball Super has decided to kind of step away from the more mature tones of the later Dragon Ball Z days. In fact, almost as soon as Dragon Ball Z, even in part of Dragon Ball, there was just a whole lot of dark stuff going on in the background. Even if it wasn't right up in your face, you could definitely look at it and be like, wow, that's really dark. And it's not like Dragon Ball Super hasn't done that in its own way. The whole concept of the Tournament of Power and erasing entire universes is really dark. In fact, I mean, just the sheer amount of people who've been completely erased in this tournament alone, you could really argue is, yeah, like they are way too dark this season. But at the same time, it doesn't feel like the impact is there. It doesn't feel the same way as watching Boo destroy every living person on Earth, or even just Cell claiming that he was going to do that. Frieza and his forces going on Namek and just tearing them apart. We haven't had an issue like that. And we've had Zamasu taking out almost all the other universes and torturing Trunks and Mai and the Resistance for a really long time, and yet it didn't feel like this was something that was being portrayed in a dark and brooding way. And it's just a little bit weird to me, and I really would like to, and I wanted this entire arc or this entire show to be a little bit darker. I would have liked it to understand, or at least for them to acknowledge their older fans in one way, shape, or form. That isn't to say that I'm complaining about any of this, because I'm not. Actually, I've even argued this on my channel quite a few times, is that it's nice to have Dragon Ball be as childish as it is. It's not the way I would have done it. I would have told a much more serious story than they are right now. But the week-to-week escape into what I remember as a kid has been really thrilling, in my opinion, and I can't wait to experience more of it as they decide to keep pushing forward. And because this show is so immensely popular, it's probably not going to end anytime soon. But one thing I would really like to see, though, they announced this whole movie action in 2018. It's going to be about the Saiyans and their heritage and where their power comes from. And I know a lot of people are thinking it's going to revolve around Yamoshi, but I mean, who really knows at this point? I would think it'd be cool to revolve around Yamoshi, especially the portrayal of him, or at least the description of him that we got in the Battle of Gods movie, not the Battle of Gods arc in Dragon Ball Super, because it's a little bit different. And it would actually be kind of nice to see a group of pure-hearted Saiyans having to rally against their more bloodthirsty counterparts or their peers. And that way we could have a little bit more of a dark-esque type of show, or at least a movie that is allowing itself to get a little bit away from what the show is trying to be, more of a kid-friendly centric story that doesn't, in the story going back that far in advance, or that far in time, not really dealing with Goku or Vegeta or anyone else in the main story, but still being a part of the canon, doesn't have to worry, at least in my opinion, about what the greater audience might think on a week-to-week basis show. I mean, if it's a flop, if it's too dark, or if it's anything else like that, they can easily distance themselves from it and not have to worry about it or bring it up ever in the show proper. So that, to me, would probably be the best way to do this if they're going to keep doing movies. And also, we all expect the Saiyans to be kind of brutal. We all expect them to be a little bit darker told story. The whole father of Goku, the Bardock story, was probably one of the darker things that we got to see in the original run of Dragon Ball. And then, of course, we also had the Future Trunks timeline special, which was also a really awesome tribute to how dark Dragon Ball could actually be and how sad it could be losing people that we had come to know and love and can't bring them back with the Dragon Balls or anything else like that. If you ask me, I've kind of come to terms and peace with it. I wasn't really expecting it back when Dragon Ball Super started, but I really wanted the show to be a little bit darker. I've come to terms with it being a little bit more of a kid-friendly show, and the fact that the Zenos really play up this connection between what the audience is supposed to be feeling and interacting to and experiencing as they watch the Tournament of Power. I think that's one of the better things that they've done throughout this entire series. But maybe they can take the extended universe, be it the movies, the video games, and everything going into the future of Dragon Ball, and make that a little bit less kid-friendly for the older audience members. I know a lot of people who like Dragon Ball like the video games, absolutely love the video games. I cannot wait for Dragon Ball FighterZ. I was so excited, and I think Xenoverse was one of the reasons I actually even got back into the story, because it was going to be something new and different, and they had this, we're messing with the timeline, it was going to get some dark and heavy things. You're willing to have your opinion. You can have your opinion whether or not they accomplish that or not, but it was still different, and it was still a little bit darker, especially Xenoverse 2 was a little bit darker than the original. Maybe Dragon Ball FighterZ is as well. Hopefully this movie that they're going to be making and any other movie into the future of Dragon Ball Super is going to be a little bit darker. Hopefully even some specials. I know a lot of people would really like to see a hit special. I don't know how you make a story about a legendary assassin without making it a little bit dark for the showrunners or for the audience members. And then at the same time, you could probably do stories about the gods of destruction, what their job in general. You can probably put some slapstick, funny bits in here and there, but what they do is pretty dark from one way to another. So that would be cool. That's how I'm saying this. Actually, that's what I want to know what you guys think. Just kind of rambling and talking to myself. I would really like to see the extended universe of Dragon Ball Super really pick up this more mature tone for the older audience members, the people who are going to go out and pay and don't have television for free or something else like that, go out and pay to see things in theaters, go out and pay for the video games and all this other stuff, to kind of pick up the darker tones that we would probably want in our older age for Dragon Ball fans. I think that would be the best thing, and then we can all live with the show, the Goku and Vegeta main story, being a little bit more kid-friendly and family-centric, that's just playing week to week on television for all the kids who wake up on Sunday morning in Japan, or all the kids or people in the United States or throughout the world who watch this on Sunday morning or Saturday night, whenever it really kind of comes out. And then at the same time, buying all the DVDs and Blu-rays and all this other stuff, the stuff that they really want versus the stuff that they could give the older audiences. That's what I would definitely really like to see in the future of the series, especially since they're finally going to give us a movie. They're finally going to give us a brand new game that's a little bit different from Xenoverse. It's going to be cool. I can't wait to see it. I hope that it's darker tones and everything else like that. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? Tell me in the comment section below. Just like I said, brief open question for you guys today. Thought this was pretty interesting, something I've been thinking about for a really long time, ever since Dragon Ball Super was announced and even came out, and even as far in like 2 years into this as we are. So guys, I'm going to leave it at that. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell over by the subscriber button, because that's going to notify you every single time I upload. You're not going to want to miss any of that. Don't forget to share this video out to all of your friends, because I want to hear all their thoughts and opinions on this as well. At the same time, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure this year. I'm coming up on a year of daily uploads. It's been quite a journey, but I've grown so much, and I can't be happier. I hope everyone has a fantastic holiday, no matter what you celebrate or how you celebrate it, or with whom you celebrate it. Even if you just get a couple days off of work or school or anything else like that, and you don't celebrate anything, I hope that you're having a really spectacular day or days with the people that you love. Guys, like always, it's been real, and I just hope everyone has a fantastic day. Bye.